LSU get their new special teams coordinator. And I think many of you would probably be shocked by the name, just like totally not on your radar. Might be a name that many of you actually won't even know, won't even recognize from LSU's current staff. John Jancek, last year's defensive quality control analyst, specifically worked with the linebackers as well, did a lot of developing with our guys like Harold Perkins specifically. Had a huge role to play on with them. Coached Georgia's linebackers in the past, was a defensive coordinator at 3 to 4 different places, co-DC at Georgia, DC at Colorado State, DC at Tennessee. Of course, coached under and played under Brian Kelly at Grand Valley State. He was, playing under Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly was like a GA in the late 80s. Mike Denbrock was most likely there as well. And Jancek also coached under Kelly at Grand Valley State in the late 90s. So, and there was also some Central Michigan ties there for one season with Jancek. And the one thing that's interesting, okay, we all wanted someone who really could run the special teams right, do this right, be a special teams guy, light special teams on fire, right? Well, it might piss you off, it might get you down, it might trouble you to learn that John Jancek has never coached special teams in his career. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. A lot of times you've seen great coaches have, say, they work with the outside linebackers or inside linebackers, and then they do special teams, or they work with the tight ends, and then they do special teams. This is kind of something that Kelly has done for a long time with some of his special teams coordinators at Notre Dame. Some of the guys that we were thinking could be candidates for this job. But ultimately, I think Brian Kelly has gone with someone who is literally just going to light a fire under everyone's ass on special teams. I really think this is about a gut check and just really making sure LSU have the right mentality. Every kickoff, every punt return, every time we're returning a punt, every time we're kicking it off, every time we are in a special team situation, protecting field goals, we're going to raise our bar like, it's any other phase of the game. Because that's not what we saw last year. We saw special teams devalued to almost like an arena football-esque, depravity, where just special teams did not matter. And we lost games because of that, directly. You could actually look at our schedule, look at everything that happened with LSU this season, and say, yes, LSU may have played themselves out of a college football spot because of our special teams. If we only have, 2 losses, and that second loss is to Georgia in the SEC title game, I'm not sure they can keep us out over, TCU, who put up 7 points in the title game. You never know. LSU had impressed so many people, had really pushed a lot of buttons across the board as well for putting ourselves in that position, and special teams screwed our season. Yes, we could not tackle Eshane against Texas A&M. Could not. Jordan Travis kicked our ass when he played, in the Florida State game. Insane errors in that game. But all of that in totality, LSU still could have done something magical last year with just some proper special teams. Just some average special teams. What we had was really, really just 1,000 leagues under the sea. It was terrible. It was just in the murk. Everything with Brian Pauline was a shit show. And so what we're seeing with John Jancek taking that job is Kelly needed A, someone he can trust, B, someone he knows can handle multiple roles on a staff. C, someone he has a long history with, someone he knows can get that job done, and D, someone with the energy, someone with the on-field new to really be able to say, hey, this is going to be LSU special teams. We're going to turn this around. We're going to go back to what LSU used to be on special teams, which was the best special teams unit in the SEC almost year in, year out, regardless of record. I mean, look at even in 2020 what Zach Von Rosenberg did. I mean, it was ridiculous. Cade York, what they did in 2020 in, a horrible, horrible season. They were unbelievable for LSU in 2020. So, I mean, just, you've got the pieces. You've got Bramblett at punter. He's going to give you 45-plus yards each punt. He's going to be consistent. Damian Ramos at kicker seemed to really be coming into his own. Didn't miss too many kicks. Was pretty damn accurate from over 40. Never even attempted a field goal over 50 yards last season. He made some pretty big clutch field goals, none bigger than that one against Florida. But from what I see, what I feel was this special teams unit really actually, we have the number one punter in the country. Jay Bramblett was the former number one punter in the country coming out of high school. Then we have another one in Peyton Todd. Then we got another number one kicker in Nathan Dybert. So you got three different number one guys. You got Dybert kicking it off. Ramos coming out of nowhere, proving he can be solid, dependable, strong in the kicking game. Then you got Peyton Todd backing up Jay Bramblett. Ray Guy Award perennial nominee. Maybe he's won it, I'm not sure exactly, but there's a lot of pieces for Jancek to work with. Coach Jancek now also has some awesome returners, and he's actually going to know what the hell to do with these returners. Aaron Anderson, Sage Ryan, perhaps Malik Neighbors if you want to try him again. But I think when you got, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton Jr., Sage Ryan, guys like that, I think you're good there. I think you're good there. And if you want to go conservative, you can put Javen Nicholas back there, Gregory Clayton Jr., whatever you want to do. But I think the pieces are there for Coach Jancek to be successful, because I think he's got the fire, the energy, and the right temperament to really command that unit and get them going, because that's the problem. That's been the problem. This belief that special teams didn't matter, this sense, this mentality of it just doesn't matter. Special teams just doesn't matter. And so you've absolutely seen, maybe Jancek's going to be a change. And I think he will be. I think this is a strong move, a great move. I think it's the promotion Coach Jancek's deserved. He's been an interesting piece of our staff, a guy that we have said, in our 2023 preview. We mentioned him among a handful of behind-the-scenes backroom coaches as a gem on this LSU staff. And lo and behold, he's LSU's new special teams coordinator. What do you think?